the communities, one thing came to my mind, and also it came during the time of the aftermath of Typhoon Yolanda, where a lot of the communities are online. The comments were saying that how resilient Filipinos are. So this is where my tipping point came. I had to make a stand or comment because of the people that I've talked to. Parang had a different idea or a different reality from what people were seeing in the news, some news articles, and also online. So it was more of a re-examination of resilience. And after several years, ito na nga, naging, this is what Signals came about. So to end, with the balance of ideas, form, and content, parang the goal is to raise more questions and start the conversation more than spoon-feeding everything to the audience. Now everything is spoon-fed in a golden platter, online, offline, everything is available. And even in events like this, so I think it is, the goal is not to just inform anymore, but actually raise a conversation. And how does one do that? It will greatly depend, again, on the author's intention. So taking this quote from York Goldberg back in 2016 on ideas and intent and form and content, it basically says that you have to take into consideration several things, but most importantly, you have to mend all of this together. You have to be honest with your intention, and hopefully your ideas and intention will mend, and the form and content will, greatly follow. And that's it. Thank you. So moving on, our guest presenter for today, coming from Indonesia, is a good friend and also an avid documentary photographer. He will be presenting to us work coming from Indonesia and photo books that are produced in Indonesia. Let's all welcome Rony, Zakaria.
So first, I want to thank you, Pioneer Studios and our group PH for having us, and also WIP for inviting me all the way from Jakarta for having this talk. Meanwhile, we're waiting for the slideshow to come up. I'm just gonna talk with myself. I've been a photographer for about 12 years. I studied mathematics, so I don't have any background in photography whatsoever. But I had a fellowship in ACFJ back in 2009, so that what started a long relationship with the Philippines photography scene until now. So it's like a second home for me, Manila actually. What I'm about to share is I had a selection of photo books and publication in print that came up in Indonesia for the last 20, 30 years. And I will divide it into three parts. because photo books hasn't been you know, it hasn't been that much of thing until 3 or 4 years ago, where there's a movement back in 2012, 2013, where there's an influx of a lot of photo books coming out in a year or two. Everybody's producing photo books. So I want to share first what the first exposure of photo books from my perspective when I just started out back in early 2000s. This is why we prefer photo books. Yeah. Never, you know, have technical difficulties. Okay. So first I want to show is back then there was not so many. We don't know how to produce photo books, and the photo books available at that time was like only either coffee table books, mostly but like Bali or like tourist places, you know, like exotic places about Indonesia. So whenever people, you know, whenever Indonesian go to other countries, they will always ask, "Oh, you have Borobudur, you have Bali," because all these photo books are about those places. And there's a small number of photo books that coming out, but it's only reserved for like really top names at the time. And one of them was by Rama Surya, one of the legendary documentary photographer back in the 90s. Yeah, this is the book called Yang Kuat Yang Kalah. So the meaning is the strong one are the beaten ones. So it's about people who lost in life, but they're still strong. So basically, it was published in 1996, just before the economic crisis. So it happened, and I think it became the only photo book at that before the millennium, because every time after that, the money's gone. So and that was published in 5,000 copies, sold out. And now you really find it, you know, if you have it, if you see it, you just have to steal it, something like that. And next. So basically, the book was, for us, it's just like a Bible for us starting aspiring photo journalists. So like, there's a lot of photo essays compiled into the book. This is about the sulfur mining. Next. And also there's about the elephants in Sumatra. So there's like 6 to 7 photo essays into one book. And at that time, there is no internet, of course. Exhibition, there is exhibition, but photo books are like this are still very rare. So when this came out, it was like something. And when I started out back in 2005, and I saw this book, like, wow, like in the 90s, there's people like this already. So it was like bringing down my ego. So when we starting out as a photographer, you think you're the greatest. And you see that, oh, okay, maybe I'm not that good yet. So next. So yeah, he's one of the legendary documentary photographer at that time. He was like the new Salgado of Indonesia at that time. He was kind of big and very influential to us. So he, when we saw the book, he was like, okay, it can be done. So that kind of feeling from the book is very special. Next. But after that, as I said, the access of producing photo books is very limited. It's only for like coffee table or like very limited chances. And it's only printed materials of works, like really committed works, can only happen in the, how you say it, exhibition catalog. So there's a lot of exhibition going on, led by, one of them is Gallery Antara Gallery of Originalism. It was one of the first galleries specialized in originalism in the Southeast Asia. Back in 1992 they opened, and they produce a lot of exhibition, and all of them have exhibition catalog. So this is one of them. This is published back in 2005 in conjunction the aftermath of the tsunami in Aceh. Next. So they sent this guy, Muhammad Iqbal, to Aceh to do a follow-up aftermath of the tsunami with the help of Goethe Institute, the Germany Cultural Center. So he did a portrait, medium format portrait of the survivors of the tragedy. Next. Muhammad Iqbal, sadly, is no longer active in the scene, but he's one of the most talented photographer back then. And we didn't have like Facebook and everything, so he was kind of underrated or not well known back then. But he was one of the rising stars. When I saw the work, I was like, where is he now? It's like, but we're still lucky we have this printed material. Next. Next. And also, this is one of the exhibition catalog I was talking about. This guy, Wahyudi Raharjo, he just passed away 3 or 4 years ago. He was a good friend of us, because we party a lot after exhibition. We had party, and he was one of the regulars who he became, the life of the party. And he was such a kind soul, and we all missed him. Anyway, he's specialized in high-rise things. He likes to photograph in high places. So this is one that got commissioned by the National Electricity Company of Indonesia. But there was a work of him doing these sky workers. It's called Sky Workers. It was done back in 2005, and he was like, because after 97, the economic crisis of Asia, everything just like goes into halt. And after the 2002, 2003 is starting to grow again, and they start rebuilding, start the building again. And he saw this, and he wants to photograph the people who construct these buildings, high-rise buildings. Next. Yeah, go back. So after he photographed this, he got an assignment from that National Electricity Company. So it was like, it doesn't generate money, but that commission generated money, so it was like good for him. But again, there's no book. So at this era, in like early 2000 to mid to 2000, we still count on exhibition catalog to see the printed traces of these photographers. That if there's no catalog, then we're just like lost in time. They don't exist. Because you cannot pass it. You can tell it, but you cannot see the pictures. Next. And this is a catalog back in the 90s. It's one of the also legendary, more senior photographer called Oscar Motulo. He's the head curator of the Antara Gallery of Originalism. So he was invited by Alliance Francaise back then to do a story in France, and any kind of story. You can do whatever you want. So he picked a cemetery in Paris called Père Lachaise, Do you know the cemetery? It was one of the oldest cemetery in the world, where like Sartre or Balzac or you know, the famous people, including who's that? The Doors, singer Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison was buried there. So he was there for like a week or two or a month, I forgot, and he did a story out of it and exhibited, and he called it the art of dying. And this project, you know, rocket his name in the scene of photography in Indonesia, and the rest is history. Next. And this is still an exhibition catalog. He only has one book right now, and it's not even his best book. I will show it later.